before him, as was my great aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to Major Domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days. Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda. Monsieur Bolius's wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which...
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corvo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum...
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see. Mentioned the place could...
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe...
Oh, yes! The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to...
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce...
Admiral Rompali once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this...
Good.
Immediately, sir. I expect it... Will you be needing...
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be...
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall... Will you be needing...
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Not only did the residents positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a
It's in your hands then.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they Is there anything...
Know what? Changed my mind.
I shall be glad.
Thanks.
Basically, this just gives me everything that I've collected so far. Or that I hold in my inventory. What the hell?
wife or daughter, you know. She's fit to wed. Oh, so fit.
A pleasure to welcome you once again to the as yet humble confines of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order.
Great. Can already see I'm in good... Starting to really like this place.
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to the house?
Feels like by investing a bit of coin, I could make the house...
Indeed. Momentum is best maintained once established. Now that we've finished the general renovations, you might begin to consider such things as a new bed, or additional armor stands, or weapon racks. Also some new furnishings, and a fresh coat of paint on the walls would do
Thinking about buying a...
Excellent idea. In your profession, rest is supremely important. But say the word, and I shall order...
Great. Order me a fine...
True indeed, true indeed. I shall send a runner at once. The bet... Is there anything...
Could use another weapon rack. Got some interesting pieces.
I know of a carpentry shop in town which crafts the
Fine.
Of course, at once. Is there anything...
Along the path, I've often picked up well-crafted, beautifully ornamented armor. Some of those pieces would look great on display here.
I agree. It would lend the place a certain...
Yes. Just please
It goes without saying, sir. There is nothing worse than... By this time tomorrow... Is there anything...
Was wondering about the guest room.
Oh, but that is immaterial. All self-respecting homes should boast a comfortable guest room.
Yeah. Sooner we start on that...
I can tell a man of action immediately. I'll see to it myself. Is there anything...
Starting to get into this whole renovating thing.
What a splendidly wise idea. Now that the general refurbishment is done, why not see...
You know Roach, my horse? Well, we've been through a lot together. And since I've...
Oh, a sturdy stable testifies to a most honorable owner. Just say the word...
My Roach deserves the best.
I shall get to work at once. Yet finding workmen and completing construction takes time. Will you be needing...
So, sometimes I have to brew a potion, but I can't...
Well, you're in luck, sir. The flower garden, once kept by Madame Nina,
Good idea, Barnabas Basil. Herbs there will save me hours of pain.
The idea is yours, sir. I am but the humble executor of your will. Will you be needing...
Start
With the utmost...
Ever play...
Funny you should ask, sir. I was quite adept in my younger years, but that was so long ago.
Huh, sounds interesting.
Not at all, sir, but only in act.
May the best man...
Do you wish to play against any particular fact?
Not really. You...
congratulate you on your victory.
Maybe later.
As you wish.
Thanks.
Tasty. So wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, I cannot put a caretaker. Interesting.
Renovations coming along.
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang in news. The laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual...
If you say I should see it, I'll go see. A storm. Damn it. Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. A laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time.
So I can pump up. Oh, white wolf. Nice. Okay.
Renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now... You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corvo Bianco completed,
Sure, why not?
during the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sapramento, the 1250 vintage. I cannot say by what miracle it's... And then he ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was decidedly more reserved.
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I gonna produce any this year?
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus destroyed all the vines. Baron Rossel had new ones planted, but it will be some time before they start bearing fruit. Assuming that is, the fungus does not reappear.
That'd be bad. This Sapramento got me dreaming. It's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Allow me to top you off, sir. There.
Thanks.
Okay then.
I thank you. So tasty. Oh, so good.